It's early morning, about 4:40 in the Superstition Mountains in Arizona. I'm at the Peralta or the Carney Springs Trailhead. I'm not sure which one it actually is. I think it's Peralta. But anyway, I'm going to be doing Superstition Peak today. And the peak is off in the distance there, if I'm looking at it. If not, it's kind of behind that, but I'm pretty sure that's the peak. The one off to the left of the bigger feature you see, the closer one there. So I'm going to be doing that today. I have to head up to the top of the canyon and then be heading left in that direction over towards the peak. I'm going to get started in a few minutes using the flashlight and just make as much progress as I can before I hit the canyon. Okay, I passed into the national forest area maybe a quarter mile ago or so, and I'm getting ready to head up into the canyon there, and then it'll be more off to the left once I get up there, and then eventually I'll be going in this direction behind that mountain there, somewhere in that area. I've climbed a little bit, but not too much. But it's gonna get steep here pretty soon. I've been climbing pretty steadily for a while now, coming up some steep sections here. The car is way down there on the road, and I'm probably halfway up this canyon, maybe more. Yeah, that's where I came from. It's nice here. A lot of cool rock formations. Okay, I made it up to a flat section here. More than halfway up the canyon. And I just have to head up there. It's a nice spot here. Getting higher pretty fast though, which is good. I'm gonna take just a little rest and then try to make it up to the next spot pretty quickly. And then I'll head from up in the next section up there, I'll head off to the left. I'll be able to see the peak from up there. Okay, made it up to the trail crest here. Down there is where I came from. And there's where I'm heading to, which is Superstition Peak. I'm gonna take just a little rest and then get moving. Looks like it'll be level or even downhill for a while, and then I'll have a good bit of climbing to do to get back up to the top there. I had another long uphill section that I've kind of leveled off, and there's the peak up there. So trail is starting up this hill, and then it looks like it's gonna work its way up there and then around. I still have a little ways to go. It's taking longer than I thought. It is further away, but making progress. It's a nice area up here. It's almost kind of like a grassland, desert grassland. And it's definitely cooler. The wind's been blowing, so it does feel pretty good. I'm gonna get going here in a little bit and just try to push it up to the top there. Okay, I finally made it to the top of Superstition Peak. I think this is the highest point in the Superstition Mountains, unless they extend further and there's something higher elsewhere. Down there is where I parked. And then from that point I hiked up to the left, up to right around the top there, and then just kind of work your way around here. Actually, right, it's not the furthest top, but it's the one a little bit lower. I think that's where I came up the first time, and then kind of worked through there, up along the side of the rocks, and then up here. This is a pretty cool summit up here. It's basically a cliff over here, and it goes a long way down. Over here it's a little more of a slope, but it's still pretty steep. It's basically steep on all sides here. Steep down there. A little bit more of a slip over here. I bet you could find a way up through there somehow up to here too. So yeah, I was there on Sunday. Did Humphreys Peak on Monday, and this is the first summit since then. Today's Thursday. It's nice up here. There are a lot of hornets buzzing around, but so far nothing's landed on me. And then down there is Apache Junction, and then Mesa, Gilbert, and Tempe, and stretching on into Phoenix. It's hazy out there, smoggy, I guess. Nice views there. I assume the roads are heading directly west. Looks like it. Yeah, these views are really nice. I'm not sure what time it is. I need to check my time. I've been up here for probably at least 10 minutes already. There is a summit marker up here. And there's a Hike Arizona box right here. I never really sign in at these. I don't think I will right now, but that's it. That's a summit marker, Superstition Peak. Other than the haze on the distant horizon, it's really beautiful up here. Really nice views. Really rugged area too. That canyon drops really far down there. It's a long way down. Kind of like to stay up here longer, but it is gonna be hot by the time I get lower. It won't be bad. It's 99, 95, 90% downhill, let's say. Not too much uphill. Pinellas out there. And then I think that's 4 peaks there. Pretty sure. Humphreys would be somewhere up there. I wonder if you could see it from here, if it's perfectly clear. Maybe not, but it's somewhere up in that direction. Alright. Well, I'm going to pull the camera out in a little bit once I get past the tougher section to climb down right here, and then I'll film a little bit more on the way down. A lot of the trail in this second half it's relatively easy. You're doing a bit of climbing here and there, but otherwise there's a lot of level sections, and the trail's really easy to follow. Actually easier than down below. Alright, this is it from the top of Superstition Peak. Okay, I just made it down from there. Right beyond that bush basically is the summit. There's going to be some nice views along the way for a while too. Surprised down there, the edge of that development. Those houses really are not that far away, especially from the base of the mountain. Just tall spires of rock. For a while there aren't too many rock cairns. You just kind of pick your way up. I think I came up this way. Even if you lose the trail, which I may not really even be on it right now. Yeah, there's a cairn. It's not too hard to pick it back up again, especially up here. Sometimes down below I lost it, but you could usually just kind of keep going up or go at an angle where you thought you were and you'd find it again. It's already warmer. Okay, up there's where the summit was. I'm off already. Back down maybe a good 200 feet or so. And I'm gonna keep moving. It's nice up here. There's just a little cactuses, grasses, some bushes, but otherwise it's not that difficult to see where you're going. Okay, heading back down from the peak. A little bit of climbing to do right down through here, and then the trail is gonna go over to the ridge over there. Okay, the peak's getting further and further away. There's actually a plane flying right behind it right now. There it is. Anyway, peak's getting further. Destination is getting closer. I'm gonna keep the camera out a little bit again. Just making my way around the mountainside here. And the trail is just gonna be down on that ridge there, and then drop to the gap, and then work its way around the side there of that bigger hillside. This is a nice little ridge right here. Looks like it's pretty steep over there. Cool section here, not much growth. Probably gets a lot of wind going right over the top here. Stuff doesn't grow as high. Definitely a harder environment than just further down where the things are growing a little bit more. Well, I just came down from there. There was the ridge I was on a little while ago. Trail down there. Just did a little bit of climbing. Whoops. And now heading back around this side of the mountain here. Well, there's the peak there. Just off to the side of the other hill. And right there is where I have to be. I have to go through this little thicket here. There's kind of a really small dry creek down at the bottom here. So there's a lot more water in this area, more growth. Watch out for these bushes with the bees on. Been a lot of flies on this hike, hornets. Nothing, flies are getting in the wing, but the hornets basically leave you alone. All right, I'm out of that. Yeah, this is a nice flatter section relatively here. I just have to make my way up to the top of the ridge there, which is not too far away, but I have a little bit of climbing to do once I get down to the bottom of here. And then actually I think I'm gonna work my way around maybe too, so maybe a little further. Just had another little uphill climb. So I'm definitely gaining more elevation on this than the actual difference in height from the base to the summit, but just beyond, or just below and off to the right of those rocks is where I need to be. Okay, I made it back to the trail crest, trail junction. This is my last view of Superstition Peak from the trail. It's a nice little area up here too. It's still relatively cool up here. I feel the heat more, but there's a nice little breeze blowing. It's not too bad. Here's the trail sign. So I came from this way. You can see the roads and the parking lot. My car is still there, so that's good. There's a dry waterfall over there. Looks like there could be just a little bit of moisture still coming down. It looks like it's almost wet, unless that's just the color of the rock. But anyway, yeah, that's not the side you're on. You're on the left side of the canyon here. Okay, I'm back into the flat section basically. It's still a little bit rocky, but nothing major. But there is one junction right here. This is after you've crossed into the Tonto National Forest, where you could go left or right, but you take the right, then you're basically going straight ahead here and then hugging the left side of the canyon up that way. There is a trail sign here, which is outside of the National Forest fence. And then there's also, another trail sign over here, which goes that way, but if you're doing this hike, Superstition Peak, just go straight through the fence and again, bear right at a couple of junctions, or at least one major junction you can see, and then up into the canyon there, and then off to the left of the canyon. Straight ahead down the wash is the parking lot and my car. And it looks like I'm going to be the only person on this hike from start to finish. I believe that's the first time that's ever happened. I've had long stretches of trails where I haven't seen anyone, even a whole entire trail. Usually I end up getting another trail and then seeing somebody else, but I think this was the first hike ever where I was completely alone from start to finish. Okay, but that's it for Superstition Peak and the Superstition Mountains. I want to check my elevation here with the GPS and then head back down the dirt road. So this is Peralta Road I'm on. Trailhead is right about 5.3 miles from where the dirt begins on the road. There's the actual peak there. So my starting elevation was 2185. The peak I think is 5,084. 2,900 plus another maybe 300 or 400 feet of climbing on the way back, and I guess on the way up too, because I did dip and then go up at least a couple times, so maybe 3,600 feet of elevation gain overall, and I think it's around 4 miles or so. Alright, good hike. That's it from the Superstition Mountains and Superstition Peak.